Hello and welcome to the introduction to our Upward Bound Advanced Math. Everybody should have gotten a workbook that looks like this. I'm just going to be referring to that as we go through this video and just to see how we progress and how the class is structured and what I need you to do. So this is the syllabus. It's pretty close to the one that I use for just about all my classes. You can see a list of the topics that we're going to cover on these days. Class will be conducted through Zoom on Google Classroom. There's a Zoom link that I'm going to try to keep always at the top. We'll see how well Google Classroom works with that. In classes that I've been in that are distance ed, you would always see some just generic button that you can hit to hit a Zoom link and always tune into the Zoom link that way. But Google Classroom doesn't work quite that well, so we'll see what I can do to help make that a possibility. If you haven't added it yet, here's the Google Classroom code, which probably most of you have added because this video is going on Google Classroom. But there's my contact information if you ever have to get a hold of me outside of class time. Just kind of the basic rules that I have, and again, these are rules that I've carried with me for a couple of years. Always be in class on time. That's a big one for this because we do only have an hour, and we have really a lot of stuff to cover because I'm trying to teach everything from students that are going into geometry to students that are going into calculus. So there's a wide variety of students in this class. And so that kind of brings the rest of the rules. Respect, always show respect to the rights and property of others. So, that even extends to being kind of, if there's something that you get, there's a topic that we're covering that you've learned before, respect the rights of others in the sense that don't just blurt out answers because you know them first. Start thinking about them a little bit deeper, and just because you know an answer, make sure that you don't make that too apparent, or I'm going to tell you to explain it to the rest of the students. Request rule: always ask for help when you need and when it's appropriate. It's always going to be appropriate in our interactions. Offer rule, so to offer help to other students when it's appropriate, that's going to be most of the time. Okay, if you know something that you can tell a classmate doesn't, be willing to offer your help and explain it to them a different way. And then responsibility rule: strive to act responsibly at all times. The grading breakdown for this class is a little bit different. Because we do only have 12 meetings and what that's going to look like and so on and so forth. The pretest, it'll be posted along with this video to Google Classroom. It's just a Google form that I want you to fill out to the best of your ability. If you don't know something, I would say leave it blank. You can guess if you want to, but just know that I'm not really caring about scores as far as how you did. Because this 10% of the weight of the class is really going to, did you log in to Google Classroom, did you take the pretest, and did you try your hardest? I mean, that's what I'm looking for there. The daily task participation, this class is kind of broken down into two sections, at least the class meetings. We're going to have a task that we're going to start the day with, and sometimes those tasks will be directed towards what we're learning that day. Sometimes they won't. I just think that they're good tasks to get you thinking about math and maybe thinking about things in a different way. So there's going to be the task portion of the class, and that'll be a very open discussion, and I'm going to try to say as little as possible. It's definitely a new strategy for me, but try to say as little as possible while students are working on that task. And I want students to be talking about some of their experiences with it, less than me talking about how to do the task. And then the other side will be more of a formal instruction, but I do things a little bit differently just in the way that I teach. So it's not like I'm just going to give you notes. All your notes are sort of embedded into that workbook. So we'll be doing some notes, some practice problems, and that'll be that. And just your participation in those tasks is 20% of your grade. So if I think that you've contributed on a given day, I'm going to give you the points for the day, and there we go. So like if you miss class, you're going to miss out on that 20%. That day's points towards that 20%. For homework, every day that we have a meeting, I'm going to assign a homework at night. It'll be a Google form. Most of my homeworks are going to take a shift in math, probably for most of you. I'm not going to assign countless problems where you have to find the right answer. They're going to be a little bit more open-ended in the sense that I want you to look back on what we did that day. And there's going to be a lot more like extended response type of questions, like where you're putting in opinions, things that you think you learned, things that you don't, things that you wish you knew more about, and that'll kind of guide my instruction as well as still make you think about what we did that day. The selected task presentation. Every student's going to pick one of the tasks that we go over in class. Probably not the last one because it's probably going to be due before that. Maybe even the last two. I might put an earlier due date on that. And you're going to record a video that just shows how you thought of that problem. Or in essence, you're going to record a video of you teaching that task to somebody. I don't think anybody but me is going to watch those videos. But just so know that's kind of the where you're getting off easy part of it. But that will be part of your grade. And then the post test. So the pre and post test are going to be the same. It's just a requirement from the program that I'm offering those. So that's about it for the syllabus. So just to get a look at maybe what day one's going to look like. This first page is the task that we're going to start with. If you want to start reading through this and thinking about it before class, that's okay. I gave you all the tasks already, so I don't want to say, oh no, you can't. Don't turn to that page yet. That's not the way I am. If you want to look ahead as to what we're doing, that's okay. So that'll be the task. Following that is the note pages. All my note pages that I use in classes look pretty much the same. So there's some stuff missing from here. It's not all just like a textbook. We're going to be doing some higher level thinking in these note pages, maybe even a little bit beyond what would typically happen when looking at whatever topic we're looking at. So just about every day has 2 note pages and then some extra practice. None of the stuff in the note pages is going to be homework. Whatever we don't get through, we don't get through. My homework will be completely different. I can't tell you what every homework's going to look like, but most of them will be heavily based on reflection. I might throw one kind of multiple choice problem in there that sort of gets you ready a little bit for the post test, but for the most part, it's just going to be what did you learn today? Okay, so then looking at Google Classroom, just to get a look, I've got one post that's getting ready to go up. I'm going to put the video into this, and you'll probably see this as the second entry. The first one, like I said, I'm always going to try to keep moving this post up because it has the Zoom link in it. And so again, every Monday and Wednesday from 11 to noon, we'll have a Zoom meeting. I would ask that you're there promptly at 11 so that we can kind of keep the flow of class going. We might have a quick kind of, hey, how you doing? But for the most part, once we get on that Zoom link, I'm going to direct you to what task we're doing that day, and we're going to start talking about it and really trying to dive into it. Sometimes we won't finish tasks. Okay, sometimes it'll kind of be left unanswered, and I think that's okay. Depending on how class goes, we may have alternate study sessions, that kind of thing, where we assign another like optional Zoom meeting where we talk a little bit more about these and give you some more insight to the task. But for the most part, I think most of them can be finished in the time that I have set aside for each one, and we should be all right. So anyways, that being said, like I said, the video that I'm recording right now will go in with this pre-test post. I think it'll be the second one. I'm really hoping that students can take the pre-test before Monday morning, but I realize that might not be an issue, and that might not be a thing that we can do. So I'm going to really ask that the pre-test is done before we meet on Wednesday the 24th. So hopefully that can be done. I don't see where that would be an issue, but yeah. So I'm excited to see you guys on Monday, and until then, good luck and get ready for Upward Bound Summer Academy. Have a good day, and we will see you in class.